Well, hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all. Welcome along to a first look at the OXBO DLC pack. I thought instead of doing a video on it, we'd just jump on, seeing I didn't do my live stream on Wednesday night, we'd jump in, just have a bit of a play around with it. And I guess I can answer any questions anyone might have, anyone who's interested in it or wants to know a little bit more, anything that might not have been covered in any of the early videos that have already been done today. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're here, if anyone wants to know, we're on the Italia Emilia map. Reason why, it's got lots of grapes, so I thought that'd be a good place to test out the grape harvesters. But I've spent a bit of time, we've got a few things set up around the map to go and have a look at. But first up, thank you everyone for tuning in. Chinook, good evening mate, nice to see you. Sparky, thank you for waiting. Hey Paul, how you doing? Sorry to hear you're not feeling too good mate, but hopefully get things sorted out very soon. But good to see you in here. John, how you doing mate? Great to see you. Strody, I was sitting here cracking up when I read your comment. Thought this was a video. I was like, what? Didn't have the big live sticker on it. Hopefully, and I apologise now if I start coughing, break into a coughing fit. Hopefully the voice lasts, but it's a little bit rough. Obligatory whiskey though to try and soothe the throat. Certainly better than I was a couple of days ago. Wouldn't have been much fun on Wednesday night. I would have been coughing up a storm. Hey Crofter, how you doing? Good to see you. Aussie Dan, welcome along. Nice to have you here as well. Yeah, so first things first, I'm not going to go through everything in the shop. I can quickly show you it all in here. You know, it's there. There's 4 things. These have 2 different options, liquid manure or dry manure systems. That has harvester, overloader harvester, and the multi-row sprayer. But other than that, there's really very little in terms of function for any of them, in terms of what you can do in the shop. But I suggest go and check out FSG's video if you want to have a little bit more and go through the more detailed side of things in the store and have a look at that. But I've just got these ones just set up here, just put them here for the thumbnail and that. So we've got the harvester set up in all 3 configurations. Got the bigger of the 2, tandem axle there. Spreader set up as a liquid spreader, and then around the back got the other one set up as the manure spreader. So pretty cool bits of kit, pretty cool. I'm looking forward to having a play around with them. This merger is massive, and the fact you can discharge to one side and basically make a 24 meters wide swath is pretty cool. But yeah, we'll go and have a play around with it and see. I'm dubious as to the pros and cons of the overloading grape harvester, because as far as I can tell, and I haven't had a play around with these apart from setting things up, I haven't, as far as I can tell, it only has 100 litre capacity. So unless you're on a multiplayer server or try to use course play with grapes, really there's no way you can use that. You'd be defaulting back to that one. So it's probably more for multiplayers than anything else. But sprayer is pretty cool. Some nice effects and nice done. As per normal for Giants, very nicely detailed models. So yeah, pretty cool. So let's have a look first. Just trying to decide where we might go and start. We might go and start. I might go and jump up here and have a look at the grapes first. Go and see how these all work. So we've got one of the sprayers here. We've got that all set up ready to go. To get a little bit of fertilizer onto these. These are the white grapes, which is a special grape in this map. If anyone hasn't played in it, there's actually specific harvesters to be able to harvest the white grapes. So it's a pretty cool little feature. Anyhow, let's go and jump up there and have a look. Worth the wait, Sparky, worth the wait. Good to hear. Hey, Scuba Steve, how you doing? Just say how beautiful Queenstown is. It's a pretty stunning part of the world. And imagine what it's like in summer. It's a completely different place. It's dry, arid. It's just completely different. So we'll pull it in here. Now, as you can see, obviously, we've got we're straddling what, 1, 2, 3 rows. But this will effectively spray 5 rows, because if we just go forward just a touch, I don't know if we're going to be able to make it out or not, but these sprayers that are spraying these outside rows are getting right across to the other side. I don't think you can make it out on here. Off that ploughing, can we see it? Yeah, there you go. So you can see sort of the width of the spraying that it's applying the fertilizer. I think if we carry on, let's run along a couple of rows. What are we doing? 5 miles per hour. So it's not that fast, but compared to the other grape equipment and the size of some of the other sprayers, it's pretty impressive. And look at how it's leveling to the ground. That's pretty cool. Like, we're on quite a side slope, and the sprayer itself's leveled with the wheels, and then the arms all level as well. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Very nicely done. your second home, Chinook. Yeah, you get down there in summer, and it's just a rocky alpine, dry, warm, beautiful red wines, lots of cherries and other stone fruits and things like that. Right, so we'll turn off there. Now, if we turn around, we should be able to go down. I think we skip a row. Go down this one. Should be good to go. So there you go. I think we're going to jump in there. Yeah, we're getting the other rows done. So you're going to cover a decent amount of space in a pretty quick time, and we're not going through the fertilizer very fast at all. So, all working pretty cool. Let's jump in cab, see where we go for our driving. You got a little indicator down there at the bottom to make sure you're driving in the right spot. What's the visibility like? You can't really see much out here in terms of spotting the spray booms. Pretty hidden. So, cab view mod, which I don't have installed now. Cab view mods would be great for this, where you can press shift and sort of, as you look around, you can lean forward or backwards or something. Pretty handy. Grapes isn't really something I've done since I tried them when the game first out. I have, like, literally, I think I've played around with them for maybe an hour, 2 hours max, Trudy. Not much time at all. But yeah, I mean, it does what it says it does. It's a sprayer that sprays quite a wide amount of grapes all at the same time. Pretty cool. And of course, you know, you don't have to stop, you can go right across, but just for the argument's sake. I find mod maps actually aren't very user-friendly for grapes. Like, is there collisions on the... Okay, that's good to know. It doesn't seem to be collisions on the booms, which is good, so you can get a little bit of flexibility there. Let's see, we're either going to get the right row, not that it matters, but run down that one. But yeah, I'm loving the leveling. The leveling's cool. If it wasn't so expensive for the food, then you could make it yours. Wait till you try and find a house and somewhere to live down there, Scuba Steve, and realise how much accommodation is. That seems to be the biggest issue in Queenstown. They want lots of seasonal workers and hospitality workers, but it's just ridiculously expensive for anyone to live there, so... Seems to be a little bit of a problem. Yeah, see, we actually could have gone over another row. I think we're redoing covered ground. Diabolical Dare, you should be able to skip an extra row, yeah. So this one on the right, in fact, can you see it? Yeah, you can just make it out there and have a look. It's very hard to see, but there is a line there, you can see it there. So half of this row is actually fertilised. So the next row we go down would have the edge of the sprayer on there, so that's the one that sticks out the furthest. So let's try that. So we'd not go down that row with... Oh goodness, there's a wall there. What's that? Again, apologies for the clear in my throat. But we'll whack that around the corner. We should be able to go down this and cover everything. Yeah, so... Oh, what are we caught up on here? What have I hit? There we go. Obviously caught on something. Yeah, so that should be... Ah, but that's saying we're not covering it all now. Maybe I'm lying. We do have to be back down that one. Well, you'd be able to. Chinook, 20 months a member. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate it. And 5 gifted memberships. You're a star. John, Peter, Dan, Keith, and Faban picking those up. So congratulations, guys, and thank you very much. Camera system mod would be nice with this. It would, wouldn't it, Crofter? I didn't think about that. Yeah, imagine being in here with the camera system turned on. I wish I'd thought about that. Would be good. Anyhow, I think that's enough spraying. But that's, you know, does what it says it would do. Big sprays. Nice animations. Folding there. Everything sort of is put away. And we'll leave it off. Nice looking model. What I'm most excited about now having OXBO in game is the potential for other equipment to come, whether it's this year, next year, modders, or next edition of the game. You know, you look at some of the pea harvesters and other things they can do. It's all pretty cool. Does it only work with grapes or olives too? I'm assuming it would work with olives if you've got olives in a vine. I don't know if there's any on this map, is there? Look, olives? Doesn't look like it. One down the bottom is there. No. No olives, so I can't try it out. But I would have thought it'd work with olives. I don't know why. I don't see why. I mean, it'll work anywhere. I could go and spray a normal grass field and it'd work, because it's just applying fertilizer. So it should work with olives. See why it wouldn't. Right, anyhow. Picking up, we didn't need to. So next step, we are going to head over this way using our super speed, and we've got 2 of the grape harvesters set up. We've got some nice ripe purple grapes, red grapes, whatever colour you want to call them. That is grapes. And we are going to have a go with this. So we're going to jump into this one first. This is the filling one. It's got the hopper on it, and you can dump into the trailer. So we've got the trailer sitting there behind the Landini. See if we bother about emptying it out yet, but let's go and pick a couple of decent length passes in here and have a play around with this. So I'm going to get it unfolded first. Here we go. It's got a nice leveling mechanic on it too. Makes that slope out of play. Have to hope the vines are done vertically. Let's turn that on. Start running along, and can't see any grapes. Why are we not getting any grapes now? Have we not harvested enough to actually get any grape? Oh no, there we go. It's just very slow to it was slow to get through the auger, that's why. Like potatoes. Just got to go through the processing before it ends up in the hopper. There you go. I mean, there's nothing special about this compared to the other grape harvesters. It just does what it says it does and does what they all do. You're looking at some of the prices around town and the small farms out of town, and the prices are absurd. Oh, it's criminally insane down there, Scuba Steve. You have a look at some of the big name people who have properties down there. There's some rather well-known folks down that way. Shania Twain, she's had a farm down there. There's quite a few different celebrities and that have property down that way. Hey Dazed, how you doing? Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. How's the server going? I noticed that there's about 3 of you on it. Hopefully it's running a bit better than it was. Let's see if we can get ourselves turned in on another row. You know what I really wish is that the course play for grapes just worked just that little bit better. It's good 90% of the time, but it just, I mean, well, what are we collecting? I'm not hitting them on perfect alignment, surely. It's like we're not actually going level as the grapes are. You can see the vines under a different angle to the harvester. Strange. So it hasn't actually leveled itself properly. It's kind of like it leveled when it unfolded, but then it hasn't re-leveled as we're driving along. Either that or my eyes are crooked. One or the other. Hey Pozox, how are you? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Nothing quite like a cheeky Friday night stream. Check out the new DLC. Due out next week. Of course, shameless plug, if you haven't got it yet and you'd like a copy, there's a link pinned up the top for our creator code or our partner code. You can go and get that and support us. There's 10% off at the moment, so if you're interested, go along and grab that. Alright, let's have a look at this unloading. OXBO, yeah, they do have some cool kit, eh? When am I getting her as a special guest? Who am I getting as a special guest? 300 bucks for the missus. You've got expensive taste though, Chinook. Whether that or the missus does. Right, let's have a look. Back up there. Get our overload trigger. Dumping those in. Hey, Mr. FSG, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, it so far does what it says it does. Does what it says on the box. So, yeah. See how it goes. Give it a little bit more of a play. Right, I'm going to pull out the other one. And we're going to try and see if we can get it running on a bit of course play. And run along beside it to see if it'll unload. Because I think, like I said before, I think this has literally only got like 100 litre capacity. I did, and I'll tell you how. I used a little bit of easy dev and I said fill grapes to fill. It only lets me put 100 litres in it. So I'm assuming that's all it has. But let's go and have a look. See if we can pick a couple of long passes to run along with it on horseplay. The steak was outstanding. Makes it worthwhile, doesn't it? Right. Let's quickly set this up. Yeah, I mean, it's so far so good. All looking good. I was impressed with your little preview, and I was telling everyone actually when we started to go along and watch what you did first, because start it here. It doesn't really matter. Is there a? It's cool. Okay. Go along and watch yours because you go through all the shop and everything like that. I didn't bother doing that, so didn't bother. Position on the vine, tools per course, vines to skip none. Right. Skip 2. Skip vine should only be used when the tool works on both vines, left and right. It's not skip any. We'll see what happens. There we go. So let's set up a course. Let's turn this on and see if we can get the right one. Look at that. Go down this one by the looks of things. Nearest waypoint. So, let's see what happens. Oh, we've already unfolded it. So there's a pipe out. You can put the pipe out on the auger. Right, it's adjustable. That's pretty neat. So, let's just press play. See how far it gets along here before it tells me it's done. Not going to. Okay. Going to grab this tractor now and see if we can get along beside it and get it to unload for us. So the downside with all of these maps is there's not enough space on the end of them. They look so realistic and authentic. There's just not enough space at the end of the vines for the equipment to turn around. Every time I've played with it and tried to get these to work, it just hasn't worked. So that's actually surprised me and gone further than I thought. Here we go. Need a little bit of speed sync. What's that not unloading? Started unloading and then it stopped. Don't know why those. I'm getting stuck on the vines. And herein lies the problem with courseplay. Like, literally, I've just harvested that whole row and got no grapes off it. What do we do? We're stuck. Oops. We were quite taken. Yeah, the sprayer was pretty cool. The sprayer was very cool. Argsy Farms on the Oaks is going to become a grape farm. You heard it here first. Not with the cost it takes to buy. Have you looked at how much it costs to plant grapes, Strody? You're doing that anytime soon. Right. So, from what I've just surmised, we've basically lost that whole row of grapes. So like I said, literally, unless you are going to be running this on a multiplayer server, the overloading one really as far as I can tell, has absolutely no purpose. Even like I said, even using it with courseplay, like I am, isn't that user friendly, because it's just gonna completely run out without us even being able to unload it. By the time I've turned around in here with this little contraption, it's going to be at the other end, and we're not going to get any grapes off it again. So it's kind of like a forage harvester in that respect, isn't it? It just it'll keep going and won't stop waiting for someone. Many times you run a forage harvester over forage and it just keeps going without spitting any out. Let's see if we can catch it. Nope, not whacking that. Oh, I give up. No, not going to catch that. So, that's my summary of the 2 grape harvesters. You're going to use them, use the other one, not this one. All this one does is chew up your grapes, spits them out, it doesn't leave anyone for anyone else. Hey Farmer Trio, how you doing? Nice to see you. Someone summed up perfectly in your comments this morning. Lovely mods, beautifully made, but doesn't add anything new. Ah. That's pretty much it, isn't it? Pretty much it. Does it tips the ground or only in the cart? I don't know. See, that was a good turn. That was a good turn. When there's enough space, courseplay works really well on grapes, but when there's not enough space, it doesn't do much at all. Right. Let's carry on. I think that's enough grapes. Let's go and head down here, because we're going to have a look at the slurry spreaders and have a play around with this. Now, I was intrigued and I had a play around last night. Does it work with pumps and hoses? Well, the short story is no, I haven't found any way you can get a hose to attach to the slurry spreader. You know, it's got points, but it doesn't seem to be configured for pumps and hoses, which is what you'd expect. I didn't expect it to be, but I thought I'd try it out anyhow. So then I was thinking, how could you use, it's the wrong button. How could you use pumps and hoses with the slurry spreader? Came out with this. Get that attached to that end. Is it attached? No, LBMY. Oh, now it's gone and attached on the other side for some reason. Get that one there done. Get this one here turned on. Why is that not turning on? We go activating pump, got its conditioner up to 100. Now, we'll jump back out, run over this way. And this should be filling up as it is. So you go, got 2728. So it's slowly filling up, which is great. So let's go and have a look at this. Nothing wrong with it, but nothing new either if the price is right. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. And I mean, if you've got the DLC already paid for that, it's probably not much of an issue, but otherwise, it's not too bad. So you select the slurry spreader itself and you press unfold, and you can unfold the boom and everything like that. You can manipulate it. It's up and down on that one. You can spin it around and you can lift this up and down. So with the field tank here, as far as I could tell, I think you have to be towards the end of it. And I don't think having that positioned anywhere does anything. But there we go. We're now filling out of the field tank here into the slurry spreader. Tally map's still looking gorgeous. It is, isn't it? Yeah. It's one I haven't played on much, so I thought it was a good map, particularly with the grapes, to jump in here and do this. Laggy stream? Might just be your connection taste. I hope it is. Can't see any issues on my end. Speaking of wasted grape, did you see in Portugal the red wine tank that burst and sent a river of 2.2 million litres of wine through the streets? I did. That was pretty unfortunate, wasn't it? Have they said what the issue was? I'm not sure if I've seen anything. So this is the smaller of the two slurry spreaders. We do have the big one, and I've paired, oops, not that. It needs to be on the back. Now I've paired this, and this is somewhere I will jump in the shop. You go in here and have a look at your combinations. There's only the two options by default. We could have gone for the 18 meter. This is a dribble bar, so if you were in grass field or something like that and you didn't really want to cultivate, and just wanted to knife and dribble some slurry in, you could use that. Nice and wide, but obviously doesn't do anything. And then there's the Zunhammer here, which is a cultivator as well as a slurry distributor. So we've gone for that because we're in these harvested wheat fields just to try it out. We'll get that, turn it all on, lower everything down, and we will head on our way. Now I've got this set to I think single application, so we jump in here and have a look at our fertilizer, getting the light blue. Now if we turn on the double rate, we'll obviously half our speed, now we'll start getting the dark blue line. So depending what you want to do, if you just want to do a half rate and then put some seed down with your fertilizer down with your seeding or something like that, you can do that. But pretty cool. I love the steering on these actually. They are very, very maneuverable. So even on a farm like Court Farms or something, you could still use them and get around pretty reasonably good. This would have just laid down with the mouth. I can imagine Mrs. FSG doing that too. Mrs. Argsy be right there with her. Those two, thick as thieves, then well, now time in Scotland. Bit of a worry. So yeah, look at how tight that turn was. That just turned around, no drummers. Yeah, does a very nice job. And of course, using the pumps and hoses and having that field bin there, we don't have to go all the way back to top up. So I think with the pump setup I've got, that pump will do. We are running pumps and hoses. Big pump, which is it that one there? I think it does 1,000 meters. There you go. We'll pump slurry 1,000 meters, so you could just about cover the whole map with it. Hey, Mr. Freefall, how are you? Good to see you, mate. You're up nice and early. Pumpins and makes a change from talking it. Thank you, FSG. Always rely on you. Yep, thought we'd take the chance to jump in here and have a little bit of a play with the OXBO DLC. If you want to go, and as I said at the start of the stream, if you want to go and find out all the configuration options and everything like that in the store, not that there's a great deal, but if you want to go and have a look at that in more detail, FSG's done a fantastic video previewing all that side of things, and hat tip to him for what I'm going to look at next, because I was watching his video and thought that's a great idea, I need to do that and have a look at it too. Turning circles epic. Oh, it's amazing, and even the big one's just as good. I was having a play actually. I was wanting to see when I used the big one whether you could turn the steering to like a road mode where it's not quite so sharp, but I couldn't find a way to configure the steering. It's either all or nothing. Tell you what, this talking's not good for my throat. To release the vibrating mode for the oaks, it lets people seed plough while applying the slurry. So that's what we're going to look at next. Dazed. Use code ARGSYGAMING. Thank you, mate. Hey, cool, yeah. How you doing? Evening, Jason. How are you? Just over a week and I'll be on your fine shores, soaking up some sun in the Gold Coast. Love the train. The train on this map's gorgeous. Look at it go. This map in general is gorgeous. Just look across there. How good is that? Such a good map. Edo Mod's actually working on another Italian map at the moment, as well as partnering with someone doing a German map, so looking forward to seeing those when they come to fruition. Anyhow, so that's that slurry spread. Actually, we've only, how much? We'll almost cover this field with one tank. 40%, so we'll probably get a good way across with this, but anyhow, that's that setup there with the smaller of the two. If we used the big one, we certainly would have made it across, but it's pretty compact. Look at that. It's not very big. Put it next to the 6 Series FAR, and it's not too big, not too different. Now this is actually very similar to the Deutz FARs we had the pleasure of driving in Loungan, which is pretty cool. That's why I picked these when we play around. But yeah, there we go. So let's head on down to this next field where I've also got a little bit of a setup up and ready to go. So hat tip FSG. I hadn't thought about it, saw it on your video and thought I had to give it a try. But this is the Horsch Joker 8RT, if I remember correctly. And it's configurable to have slurry in it as well as seeding, but it will only seed grass and oilseed radish. So as I was saying, dazed, there is an option there, but I think yours is set up to seed other crops too. But yeah, hats up FSG, thank you for thinking of that and adding it in your video and letting me steal it. Does it work well with precision farming? I imagine it would. I haven't got precision farming in, but it should be no different whatsoever. So yeah, like I said, actually we'll just because I just want to disconnect it. Have a look at the hoses and everything. That'll attach. You get the hose and everything on there, connected between the two, which is pretty cool. Nice flex in it. Everything looks pretty neat. What'd be cool actually is if one of the hoses on the side of here disappeared. I think it does. What am I doing? Holding it up, not disconnecting it. Yeah, but if one of the hoses on the side of the spreader disappeared as if it was one of those that was used for connecting it, but can't have it all. Right, let's turn that on, lower it down, and we should go forward. We're set up to seed our grass, so you can see we're doing both our slurry application behind here with the 8RT, the Joker 8RT, as well as seeding some grass. So again, pretty cool to be able to double up. So cattle people, anyone who does a lot of grass work, if you wanted to redo your pastures, regenerate your pastures, this would actually be quite a good way to do it. And this thing, look at the turning circle. I'm not going to be able to demonstrate it too well on this, but the turning circle on this one, you probably just get a glimpse of it, but it's rear wheel assist, it's rear wheel steering in the back as well. It turns on a dime. It is highly, highly impressive. Very good. Sunshine will do you good. Sounds like the whole East Coast will be nice and warm. It sounds like it is going to be very warm. I'm more worried about all the snakes that are starting to come out of the woodwork, so to speak. Not sure I'm ready for that. It's a very cool setup. Very cool. We'll actually have a look. I'm going to take a quick look at the Horsch pack. So again, if you had the Year 2 Season Pass, you'll have all of these. Horsch pack, well worth it. I think one of the, if not the best DLC for this year. Well worth it. And of course, new map coming, which is all part of it too. Look. Look at that turning. Oh. Just about put the nose right on the edge of the field and let it spin round. I'm not doing the neatest job with my seating, but works pretty well. Cool with the lime add-on mod and the box spreader letting you apply lime. It could be. Snakes are fine when it warms up, they come out in the open to warm up as much. It's only one time I've seen a snake in the wild in Australia. It was after a few days of rain and it was sitting out sunning itself. Red belly black snake. I'm sure I've told the story before, but it was a funny occurrence because we went and told the hotel reception we'd seen a snake because they asked you to. They wanted to know what sort it was, and I was like, I wouldn't have a clue what sort it is. I'm not from Australia. I'm not familiar with snakes. It's just it's black and has a red belly. I like how you name your beers Forex. Goodness, Argsy, look at that. Good thing we're not hanging around here and not wanting to do a good job. But let's have a look. Yeah, you can see all our fertilizer going on as well. Happy days. Cool setup. We'll park that there and turn that all off. And I'll just have a very quick look. Horsch pack. So we're using the Joker 8RT. You can have with the seeder or with the slurry distributor, or as I had it configured, with both. planting grass or oilseed radish. See down the bottom there. Another cool little setup. Now, we've got 2 more things to go and look at in the pack. Feels like we've looked at lots already, but we'll jump over here. Where have I got these set up? Down this way. Jump over here. Carry on with our spreading side of things. So, this is the bigger of the 2 spreaders set up as a manure spreader. So, see it there. Again, all that changes is the box on the back. Obviously, you've got the spreading there. You can't, they're not interchangeable, so you have to have one or the other. You can't go in and change them. You could, I suppose, you could actually go into, because it's a configuration option, isn't it? You could actually go in, once you've bought one, you could go and use your workshop and change it. Oh, I lie, you could. We can probably go here, because I'll have the workshop mod installed. Go to customize. And yeah, if you wanted to flick between the 2, you could actually do that. You get one, you get them both. Width of the spread on these is great, yeah. So, one thing I was playing around with, I thought we'd see what it was like, and we've got the biggest of the Taurians here, but I actually had to, I originally had a CSZ pack bucket, but with this wheel loader, didn't have the reach to be able to tip in, so I had to get this high tip to be able to tip in, which is fine, but yeah, just something to be aware of if you're wanting to do it this way and fill up on the side of the field with some slurry, manure, and a wheel loader. You won't be able to do it very easily, so I should be able to demonstrate. See there, I'm only just tipping, and there's already a collision there, so high tip definitely makes it a lot easier. So we'll just quickly get this all thrown up in here, get it filled up, go for a little bit of a spread. Like I'm not getting paid for that job. I know, I just walked away from it, Jason. It's fine. Hey Aaron, how you doing? Good morning all, and good morning to all of the Down Under farmers. Well, good evening to you from Down Under. Having a good day, mate. Start pooping. You can start doing whatever you want, Chinook, but I'm just going to go and throw some manure around. Speaking of throwing, did anyone see that monkey in that West Australia zoo that, was it a orangutan that decided he didn't want a possum in his enclosure? Gave it the great big flick. It was pretty impressive. It flew a long way. Look at that, we've got 16 litres left. I think the first bucket I did overloaded by 16 litres. What you get sometimes, but... Alright, let's jump up in here. Take a look at this beast. I like what you said earlier, Crofter. I reckon this would actually be a great mod to be using with, like, look, it's actually even got on that camera. Need to go even closer than that. That must be what, is that a rear view camera? I don't know, camera 1, but can you imagine having the camera mod in here and having the spreading going? What else does it have down there? Maybe FSG, you can steal that and make a sim dash for us. Actually got the RPM on it. Does it have speed? It does have speed. Huh. The time, 1220, the time's correct. Actually a few things. The engine temperature's going up, 41, 40. Turns off when we turn off. The engine temperature, oil temperature. That's interesting. I don't know if I've ever noticed those before. Doesn't have a fill capacity that I can see. Anyhow. Interesting. But look, it's I can't see anything looking at it normally, can you? Nothing. Right, anyhow, let's jump out of there. We'll look at this on the outside first. So, open it up, pops that gate up. One of the few slurry spreaders, actually, manure spreaders, where you don't see a lot of the back, but look at that width. If you have poo, fling it now, I say. And speed too, 13 miles per hour. It's a juicy, juicy running. You're going to cover a field, as long as you don't run out and have to reload too often. Pretty fast with that. Now, my question, do we have an option? I need to come onto there. Activate double rate. We do. So, is that way? Yeah, there we go. So it's got our double rate spreading, so we've slowed down. Still spreading the same amount. See, we've gone from our light blue to the dark blue. But I tell you what, if I'm going to be doing this, I'm doing it fast. None of this single rate stuff. Double rate stuff. Let's get this pull on the field. Yeah, like you said, FSG, that is a pretty impressive coverage. And a great looking animation, actually. I don't know if this has been updated from when it first came out, but certainly going onto this cloud texture, it's very, very easy and very clear to see exactly where you've been. Oh, struggling up the hill a little. I think this is, this is a 500 horsepower machine? The other one's 400, maybe 550, so they're not lacking the power. And I suppose if you're going to be pulling a cultivator or something behind, you definitely need a bit of power, but what were they? 550 and 400. A bad memory, Argsy. Yeah, no, this is pretty impressive actually. Cover a fair amount. So again, run a big dairy farm, get a lot of manure, and you'll be throwing poo for days. Hey, Farms and Bob, how you doing? How am I getting on with the new controller? Loving it, Farms and Bob. Loving it a lot. There you go. So the wheel's really cool. I've got the running sorted by using the front bumpers down there. It's a little bit clunky sometimes, but it's the best of the solutions I've come up with. I do want to try and get rid of the D-pad and actually map it to the buttons on the back and try that out. So yeah, I do still want to have a bit of a play around with it, but yeah, all in all, it's cool. Loving it. This is it. In fact, I haven't plugged my PlayStation controller in since I've had it. So you go, that's, look, oh, let's have a look at this. Don't get dizzy, but look at that turning circle. Leave those wheel prints there. Do you reckon a wheel loader will turn that tightly? Articulated wheel loader should. But it's also half the size. Actually, it's as tight as an articulated wheel loader. Look at that. It's Friday night. We go out and do donuts on Friday night. So yeah, so that is what? I'm going to call it number 4, but what have we looked at so far? We've looked at the sprayer, we've looked at the 2 grape harvesters, we've looked at the 2 different slurry spreaders, and now the manure spreader. So 4 or 5, which leaves us only one thing actually to jump over the fence and take a look at. Get over the fence. Go. Try van. Go. So this is the I'm going to call it the mega merger, but the 2340 merger, and this thing is this thing's a beast. It has a steering axle as well, so very maneuverable, great for those tight little fields and things like that. So don't think it's too big for some of the farms. It's certainly manageable. Now bring up our menu and have a look at our work mode, because at the moment it's on left. We certainly do not want that to be going that way. So find my controls for it. Control Y? Yeah, control Y. So left and right. It's left control and Y doing that. So let's set that to right. Turn it on. So it does only merge one way. It only goes left or right to the edge. But you'll certainly understand why you want to do that. So here we go. That's covering a good amount of width already. Roof is a beast. And again, we're towing it behind a 6 Series Deutz-Fahr. Yeah, Warrior Edition. Nice black version. And one of the cool things about the Deutz-Fahr factory is the tractors are all made to order. So when we went through the production line, saw these being built, they had the 6, 7 and 8 Series all being built on the same line. So you might have a 6 Series with a 7 Series in front of it, an 8 Series behind it, and then you might have a green 6 series, and then there might be a couple of warriors or things like that. It was fascinating to see the whole production line. It's pretty cool. Hey Grant, how you doing? Good to see you. But yeah, this thing's impressive, and the reason it's impressive, once we've been around the field once, if we go back the other way, we'll be able to basically make a 24 meter wide swath. So you think about it, if we were to do, might be a little bit hard to work with course play, if you think, because course play is going to do 3 headland passes all facing the same way. So unless you did them all to go to the outside, it's going to make one really big swath. Struggle. This is a pretty steep hill. I'll give it that. This hill's got some angle on it. I'm pleased I'm going straight up it and not across it, because it would be a pretty scary hill to do sideways. Look at that. It's almost 45 degrees. Maybe not quite. Close. Yeah, very cool. And actually not getting the animation. That's interesting. Wonder why that is. There was a FSG's video here, had a fantastic animation on the front, and we're not getting that same animation. Wonder why that is. If that's a map issue. Sure on that now. When you go and have a look at FSG's video, have a look at the animation. I wonder if it's the direction we're throwing this. I'm just going to test something here. Let's go to the other way. We do that while it's going. Yeah, no animation that way either. Okay. Lift it. Turn it off. Yeah, IT 101 from FSG. Turn it on and off again. Oh, nothing. I specifically saw in your video how impressed the animations were, so I'll put it down to a map issue rather than anything else. But hey Michael, how you doing? Good to see you, mate. Hope all is well. Yeah. So take my word for it. Well, don't take my word for it. Go and watch FSG's video once we've finished. If you haven't already. It does look very impressive. There we go. This field would look pretty cool once it's all rode up. So I guess there's 2 ways to do this. When you're doing it manually, we could carry on going around this way, go in 1 row, and then have our works direction to the left rather than the right. Or you do a U-turn and drive up the other side of the swath. Put 2 into 1. Or if you didn't want to put 2 into 1, drive along, still with the right-hand discharge, and don't pick up the edge of the swath. Then you'll just end up with another one next to it. So a few different ways to do it. Ah, this map, beautiful. So much to like about this map. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We'll keep going around. Do a U-turn. So, done there. Just raise it up. Turn it around. Go back the other way. Of course, it doesn't matter if you pick up a little bit of the swath. It makes it going to be a little bit smaller, but it's going to be a decent amount of grass getting picked up in one go. I'm almost tempted to run a baler around it just to see how quickly I'm going to fill a baler up or not. Very cool. glass bale going 1 mile per hour on that swath. You're probably not wrong. Probably not wrong. I don't know how well prepared this field was for it, but... Or you could do what DJ did and just swath it all up into one big pile. In the middle, just go round and round and round with it, discharging to one side. Of course, we saw in the hay and forage pack that was out a couple of months ago, that also had a merger in it. Not quite as wide as this one. It was 9 meters. But yeah, this is certainly a pretty cool bit of kit. Imagine if Farm Sim had shear bolts. Come on, it's a game, not a simulation. Dazed. We used to do conventional bales. I used to help out a friend and his family. We'd do 10,000 bales every summer. Standard small bales. All hand load them, but gosh, that baler would go through some shear bolts. One of the little New Holland ones. I mean, when was that? That would have been in the early 90s, and it was an old baler then. Actually had it was old, towed that behind an old Fiat, like a 90 series, was it a 90 series Fiat? Unlike, one in here. Nah, the one that looks like that. 1300. I think it is a 6090, something like that. Which I noticed, actually, I was having a look through the premium DLC. There's going to be one of those in that too. It's pretty cool. Farming Simulator is a game, not a simulation. Interesting, we missed a couple of bits there. Let's notice that. What drove that? Hey, iFarmer Steve, how you doing? Great to see you. So it doesn't take very long to get around and windrow up a very large field. I think this field took quite a while for the Big M mower to get around. Taking us too long to get around and windrow up. Farming Game 22 doesn't have the same ring to it. No, that's true. Very true. We did miss a little bit there too. Interesting. I'm doing good, Farmer Steve. Throats are still a bit sore. Talking too much, so. What do you reckon? Should we leave that there and disconnect that? I do want to have a bale on this. Just want to have a bit of a play. Let's jump out. What baler are we going to get? Let's go for a square one. Oh, I probably don't know. I have a power for a square one. How powerful is this tractor? Oh. Go for how powerful is this tractor? Which one I got now? 156, 156. Did I do this to 183? I think I did. I got on there 6185. Is that one there? 183 horsepower. Gonna need all of that going up that hill, aren't we? What's the class like? 250, 230, 230, 195. Yep, we'll be going around. Even that's only just enough. Let's go green. Color we use Get a mini baler for the lols. I could actually. What do you reckon? Go for the basic little messy one then, eh? Self-propelled. That would have been an option too, Crofter. Didn't even think about that. I like the way Dazed is thinking though. We were flinging poo, now we're pooping bales. Oh no, that's hilarious. Not struggling with it though, or anything, is it? Can I change the bale size on this? No, 31 bales already. Is there a bale size, different bale size on this one? Is it one size fits all? No, one size fits all. Some Hansel and Gretel vibes. Yeah. Where's Argsy? Just follow the bales. Around the corner up the hill. It's actually doing quite a good job now that I've kind of mastered the width of it to pick the whole swath up. It says as it misses a bit. Not doing too bad though, is it? Looks like the baler had a curry last night. Must have been a spinach based curry by the looks of things. Very green. Imagine if we'd put the whole lot into one. They all count a bingo. The New Holland mod definitely, yeah. Yep. That bale stacker. Our neighbour's got one of those. Sitting over the road. Don't know if it still works or not. Used to see it driving up and down the road. Funniest looking thing ever. Alright, here's the question for you. You've got, in fact, it's 24 of you in here. How many bales are we going to end up with when I finish the swath? Back down there. Whoever's closest, we're at 150 now, whoever's closest to the number, and I'll do my best to take everything, will get a copy of the OXBO DLC. So I'm going to stop. You've got 2 minutes to put in your guess. 1 minute. How many bales? We're at 156. We've gone... I think we might be a little bit more than halfway around the field. How many bales? Closest guess, I'll give you a copy of the OXBO DLC. 750, Crofter. I'm only going back around to the... I'm only going back down there to the swather. One lap. One lap of the field. Sorry. 312, 218, 401, 310, 290, 254. Oh, John and Dazed, imagine if it was 313. Have to get you both a copy. $450, Michael. Crofter's come back down to 333. I like your round number. At that point, you'd have to fight for it. Should have said 314 and a half, Dazed. Alright, let's carry on. If anyone else wants to have a guess, throw it in, but be quick. It's the magic number 333. I will do my best to get as much of the swath as I can, but no guarantees. I don't want to be seen to be manipulating the result. Wish the counter worked on servers I know, Strody. How good would that be? If it could be attached to farms somehow. 200. Those 254s is Chinook's going to be out soon, I reckon. He's going to be gone. Strody's 218. It's going to get knocked out of the park really soon. Here you go, Strody. Going, 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 gone. Strody's out. Who's next on the list? Chinook with 254. Oh, if you open it and do it that way, that's a bit frustrating. 318. You should have said 314, Strody. Yeah, Chinook. 254, going, going. Going, gone. I'll tell you what, it's going to be 314. I'm picking it. Do we have anyone else in 200s? Dan, Aussie Dan at 290. Scroll back up in chat now. Aussie Dan at 290. He's out of it. I'll tell you what, this is 314. 314 is on the cards. 314. There you go, 290. Aussie Dan's out. Might be closer to 400. Nah. Here comes our 300. 314, yeah, I think 314's out of the cards too. Home Valley Farmers coming in with 357. Clutch call this late in the piece. Crofter's 333. He might have redeemed himself. Most exciting thing to happen all week. Crofter's at 3. There's Crofter. 333. We're going to end up with 341. What have I ever eject that one? Does that count? 342 and a half. So who was 340? I think Crofter with your late 333. On at 312. Grant was at 310. Get a lot around that 310s. 315. Crofter. Right in there, right at the end. Home Valley Farmer. I think we were a little bit close to the finish. Be able to let you hop in there, but still, Crofter was what, 9 off it. 357, still 15 away. So here we go. Right, I'm going to set this up on a server. If you guys can come in and clear all your bales, yeah, it'll be good. More exciting than watching the New Zealand election. Michael, you overestimated way too much. Well, we were on 159 when we were up there, weren't we? So it was just a little bit more than double. A little bit more than double. If it's a Home Valley, you got it. Have you got it already? Is this the new giveaway method going forward, Argsy? We could come up with ideas like this, Dazed. Have you already got it, Crofter? Good fun. Yep, okay. Well, in that case, Home Valley Farmer, you did come in. You did say 357. It is the next closest. So on that basis, if you're on Discord, drop me a DM. Or like a comment, exclamation mark, Discord if you're not there. Let me know and I'll get your code over there. I'm assuming you're on PC. I can only do PC codes. And let me know whether you want a Giants or a Steam key, because I can do both. Courtesy of Games Planet. But anyhow, there you go. We've been going for an hour, a bit over an hour. And we've taken a look at all the different bits of kit that come in the OXBO DLC. In fact, let's jump over here and stand in front of it all. So, any last questions, comments, requests, anything like that you want to know before we wrap things up? My verdict from playing with it for an hour and a half, pretty much what FSG said and what some of his viewers have said is nice models, nice equipment, hasn't really added anything new to the game, but nice to see a new brand. I think that's the biggest thing, and it's for me it's the potential going forward with the brand, what they might be able to do as they progress. Slurry capacity is so this is 25,000 litres. Okay, they're both 25, slurry or manure, and this is 16,000. Or 18,000 litres if you go for manure. 16,000 litres of slurry. So that is the main difference. The handcuff mod, no, I think, did you comment about it? And I had a look for it as well. It sounded actually really interesting, but I couldn't find it. I found a link to it on a YouTube video, but then I couldn't find the mod. But yeah, it sounded like an interesting mod, Michael. But no, sorry. Just found the stream and I'm finishing up. Sorry, Bo. Go back and watch it. If you want to know anything about the OXBO DLC. No worries, Jim. Shameless plug, if you haven't got a copy already and you're interested in buying it, make sure you use the link to either my partner code, ARGSYGAMING, or one word, or if you want to support someone else, Farm Sim Guy, DJ, Pharmacop, anyone who is a Giant partner, might be a modder. A lot of modders have the partner code as well. Make sure you do support someone if you buy it through Giants. It doesn't cost you any more, and it's a reflection on our efforts to support Giants, and does help that way. How does a big slurry spreader tow another slurry tanker? I don't think it does, Crofter. Oh, what's it got? It does it. Well, it could actually. What sort of slurry tankers are there? You talking about like a field tank, or like a proper tank? I'm sure it could. It's got the 3-point. Why did they not jump in? Get in there. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. The downside, you can't actually spread your slurry if you've got that attached, because you need to have space to attach your spreader. It doesn't spread on its own, so actually you probably can't. That stops your ability to have a spreader. So no, probably can't actually. Did you see how I had it set up over here? I think this is the best way to do it. Set up your field. If you've got pumps and hoses, set up your field bit on the side, and pump from your slurry tank. This pump will pump 1,000 meters, so 1,000 meters will cover quite a bit of a map, and then you can just pull up beside it and refill. There we go. Oh yeah, lots of different ways to do it. Anyhow, my voice is starting to go. My throat is starting to decide we've had enough. So, don't forget, we don't condone that, Dazed. Domestic violence in any way, shape or form is not okay, alright? But do make sure you have dropped me a like. If you haven't already, make sure you've hit that thumbs up button. Anyhow, as always, thank you all very much for watching. Like I said, hope if you are looking at getting it, make sure you support someone. I never said it was in a violent way, just saying. Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. in that case, some people, you're like it's Friday night in New Zealand. Right, on that note, I'll try and do a live stream on Sunday morning, maybe back on No Creek Farms, maybe getting some more hay done, get that all finished off, and carry on with that, because that would be a plan this weekend. Anyhow, thank you all for joining me tonight. Bit of an impromptu one, bit of a chance to take a look at OXBO. Thank you, Giants, of course, for letting me have early access to it, sending it through. I do appreciate you supporting me and allowing me to share it with everyone else. But yeah, otherwise, you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday. Have a happy weekend. Go the All Blacks tomorrow. They are taking on Uruguay. Can't even remember who they're playing. It's pretty embarrassing, isn't it? Anyhow, tune in. The All Blacks play tomorrow. Go Liam Lawson in the Formula 1. Let's see him get some points in Singapore. That'd be pretty awesome. Go the Warriors if you're an NRL fan. Up the wires. Anyhow, I'm out. I'm rambling. You guys all enjoy your weekend. We'll catch you again soon. Bye.